Is Merab using PEDs? X says, he's too good. He has to be using something. Let's see if it's true or not.
I do not buy it. That dude has started taking something. 100% he has. 100% he has, dude.
Twitter detective screamed down EPO the moment he stuffed his 15th takedown. Drug-free sports database answers louder. 5 tests in 2025 alone. All negative. Coach Firas Zahabi calls Merab a genetic outlier. VO2 max, artery diameter, freak red cell count. Irony check. The rainbow-haired striker Merab just strangled served 2 6-month bans for trace ostarine in 2018-19. The new champ hasn't flunked a vial. And remember 2019, TJ Dillashaw vacated this very belt after admitting EPO. Every clean sample Merab signs buries that ghost a little deeper. Yes, USADA left the Octagon on January 1st, 2024, but drug-free sport still knocks it dawn, beaker in hand. And the Georgian machine answers every time. With that out of the way, let's rewind to see how a cardboard mat wrestler became the cleanest cardio engine in MMA. 13 straight. History's most exclusive club, and Merab Dvalishvili strolled into it wearing thrift store jeans and a grin so wide it split the notion of ego in half. In Newark's sold-out Prudential Center, the belt glittered. The president clapped. Mike Tyson shouted, "Bad man!" Yet the champ's first stop afterward was the same dented Nissan he's driven since Long Island carpentry days. That contradiction is why the story sticks. The scariest man at 135 still swears he's ordinary, and opponents keep wishing that were true. Merab was born in the concrete maze of Tbilisi's Vazisubani district, the middle child of a factory welder and a kindergarten cook. When wrestling mats were scarce, he rolled on cardboard studying Soviet manuals borrowed from a neighbor who once coached Greco-Olympians. At 20, he sold his father's hunting rifle to buy a one-way ticket to New York, landing at JFK with $80, a stale khachapuri, and the phone number of some guy who knows Ray Longo. Carpentry paid the rent, judo paid the soul. Night after night, he drilled takedowns under flickering warehouse lights until calluses cracked and winter breath fogged the concrete. No cameras, no sponsors, only the echo of a promise he made to his mother. I'll come back wearing gold, guys. The UFC contract finally arrived, but destiny took a detour. In 2018, he debuted against Ricky Simon, dropped him on his head like a sack of bricks, then got flash-choked in the closing second. Doctors said he was out. Merab protested. Judges called it a loss. 3 months later came another split disaster. 0-2, last paycheck burned, the dream dangled by a thread. His construction foreman begged him to quit fighting, but the Georgian machine hated loose screws. He logged double shifts, mailed half his purse back home, and promised the mirror that robbed victories would someday look like rehearsals. Loyalty, however, threw the next wrench. Training partner Aljamain Sterling ascended the throne, and the UFC dangled title shots like carrots. Merab refused to nibble. "I won't punch my brother for money," he told reporters, earning Dana White's now legendary warning. Bad idea. Months of matchmaking limbo followed. Top names dodged him. Paychecks shrank. Yet the promise to mom stayed louder than the promise of gold. Patience paid. Peter Yan marched in talking empire, left limping on 49 takedowns. Jose Aldo's legendary sprawl cracked by round 3. Marlon Chito Vera outpaced. With each scalp, the long shot morphed into a metronome of misery. Footwork, level chain grip, repeat. By the time Sean O'Malley wore the crown, bookmakers listed the rainbow-haired sniper as underdog against a man still labeled contender. Vegas learned humility that September night when O'Malley's back met the canvas like wet paint, and Merab hoisted a nation's hopes overhead. The morning after, Tbilisi erupted. A man on horseback escorted the bus through a sea of red and white flags, while Merab, suit still wrinkled, kept muttering, this can't be real." 3 months later, Dagestan's wunderkind Umar Nurmagomedov arrived, undefeated, and certain the machine would jam. 5 rounds of scrambling decided otherwise. Undefeated no more, Umar limped to the presser, whispering about rematches. Merab shrugged, tied Anderson Silva's doesn't-fight snowball, and asked for anyone, anytime, twice this year if the body holds. The body almost failed first. 2 weeks before the O'Malley rematch, he stubbed the toe so badly trainers begged him to withdraw. Cameras caught him joking. He got it off with a handsaw before pulling out. Tape, grit, and a Toradol cocktail kept the foot together long enough to shoot a single leg. That folded O'Malley like beach furniture. Rear naked choke, tap, chaos. 13 wins, same dent in Nissan. Legacy talk erupted before the canvas tried. Is he already the bantamweight GOAT? Analysts split screens alongside Dominic Cruz and TJ Dillashaw highlight reels. Merab deflected. "I just clocked in for another shift," he told Ariel Helwani, shrugging off compliments like sawdust. Next shift appears to be Corey Sanhagen, technician, jokester, owner of an 8-inch reach, and a feed of meme-worthy skits. The MSG card in November hovers in UFC group chats, a stylistic puzzle that promises spinning elbows and scramble chains for days. Corey says he's not bothered by the champ's grinding pace. Merab answers by scheduling 5 a.m. sprints in freezing surf because the ocean doesn't get tired. Beyond MSG, a supersized question looms. Alexander Pantoja, flyweight terror, hunting bigger game. Pantoja just cleaned out 125. Merab smiles at the thought of a catchweight collision. If the UFC wants, no problem, he told reporters. Code for pay me and watch the machine adapt. Fans salivate over speed versus pressure theater. Bean counters see pay-per-view zero stacking. Mid-hype storms, the champ clocks long hours on a quieter blueprint. Build wrestling gyms across Georgian villages, where mats are as rare as snow leopards. The government cut him a $1 million grant. He poured fight bonuses into the pot, promising free jiu-jitsu for kids who would otherwise trade textbooks for street fights. Let's call it Project USADA, but Merab just calls it paying rent for the oxygen I breathe. He's aware machines break. Shoulders tear, knees buckle, and yes, tiny toes explode. Injuries nip at him. Every camp, yet surgeries were dodged by discipline and stubborn luck. Analysts note he's never suffered an ACL tear in 15 pro years, an anomaly explained only by granite genetics and obsessive prehab. Still, the ticking clock doesn't scare him. He has 2 targets for 2025. Defend twice more and finish the charity gym's foundation before winter. If both land on schedule, he'll fly his parents to MSG, drape them in the Octagon, and thank the crowd in halting English. Then, he intends to vanish to Kaketi's vineyards and help his father bottle wine until the phone rings again. So where does this engine stall? Maybe it never does. Maybe the machine keeps pressing forward. 1 takedown, 1 village gym, 1 sleepless red eye at a time, until the record books surrender. And if that day comes, the dented Nissan will still be idling in a Long Island driveway. Proof that greatness can ride in economy class for long as grit.